Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Flash of Two Worlds video. There's a whole bunch of stuff to explain, so as I get through top moments, I'll try to explain the multiverse, what the TV show is doing with that, and some of the new characters. Really, like, the whole purpose of this episode is just to put Jay Garrick on Team Flash and establish him as a mentor for Barry this season. And real quick reminder, new round of the giveaway starts now. I'm giving away a reverse Flash ring. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So just careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. I know some of you were watching and it got preempted by baseball or something, so you might have had to go back and watch like the first 7 minutes. But here we go. Number 5, Jay Garrick explains Zoom. What he said is that Zoom first showed up about the same time he got his powers on Earth 2, which was about 2 years ago. So he's really only been the Flash about a year longer than Barry's been the Flash. And he lost his powers the minute the wormhole opened and sucked him in. So he didn't say Zoom stole his speed, he just says he doesn't know how he lost it. Zoom was trying to kill him. He wants to be the only Flash on any world. So it sounds like Zoom is just crossing over into other universes trying to kill all the Flashes. They weren't really clear that Zoom was from Earth 2, so he could be from a different Earth, but he is basically just working his way all over the multiverse trying to kill the other Flashes. Jay said that Zoom wants to be the best, so just remember that. I think the language that they wrote in there is actually going to be important to figuring out who Zoom is eventually. Zoom has that line in the Comic-Con trailer where he said, "Heroes die," so he doesn't want to be a hero, he just wants to be the best. On to number 4, meet Zoom, voiced by Tony Todd. We finally get to see him full on, and we get to hear the voice. I mean, we heard it in the trailer kind of, but this time it was just a much more prolonged scene. This here is what it looks like when someone crosses between Earths. There's still a whole lot we don't know about jumping back and forth between Earth 1 and Earth 2. Maybe just the Flashes can do it. Maybe it has something to do with being at these specific pockets of energy. For now, I'm just going to assume that the only people that can go back and forth are Zoom and Barry, just because they have Speed Force powers. Martin Stein filling in with Cisco is slowly figuring things out, and then they're both slowly kind of going crazy in slightly different ways. So on to number 3, Martin Stein figures out what's going on with Cisco. The line that Cisco had was, "I get a vibe, then I see a vision of something that's happened, and then it goes away." But all the visions have been to people that are from Earth 2, so he's just sensing the alternate reality, like the alternate energy that's being given off by these people. I was actually a little surprised at Cisco's reaction, the fact that he didn't want to tell people, but the reason he explains is because Harrison Wells made it seem like he was really special. He told, you have this great destiny ahead of you, and he turned out to be super evil. So Cisco's getting a very sinister, quote-unquote, vibe from his abilities. He doesn't trust it at all, so he doesn't want to tell everyone because he's not sure how to deal with it yet. Do not be surprised if the same thing happens with Caitlin Snow. Hopefully it won't be the exact same thing, because she also has metahuman abilities. The show just hasn't explored that yet. If we've learned anything from genre shows, it's that when a character gets a special ability and hides it from all of his friends, it never ends well. On the flip side of that, Martin Stein looks like he's slowly losing his mind, and there is a little bit of silly setup, like, "Oh, I'm never going to be merging with anyone else." Like he had a couple lines of dialogue that made it seem like he was never going to fuse his Firestorm. Of course, we know that's totally not true. Sometimes when you see setups like this and you're like, okay, they're very clearly setting this up for the twist that, surprise, surprise, he's going to merge with another Firestorm. You give the writers a little bit of a pass just because they're writing that for people that do not read comics. On to number 2, meet Patty Spivot, newest member of Joe's task force and probably future member of Team Flash. Does anybody want to lay bets now on how long it's going to take her to figure out that Barry is the Flash? I've been seeing like 2 or 3 episodes, maybe faster than that, maybe it'll take longer, I mean we'll see. Most of her storyline and most of her interaction with Barry is going to take place at the police station when he is not the Flash. I feel like both Jay and Patty had great introductions this season. Like the setup for their character was really well thought out. Like they're not just out for revenge. They have tragedy in their past that they're trying to work past. They're trying to move forward, which was kind of the theme of the first episode. They're highly skilled. They want to help people. They're not like completely shackled by their emotions. So I'll be really happy that Patty isn't going to be like dragging her baggage around all season long. But it is interesting to know that Weather Wizard, at least on the TV show, killed her father before he got his powers, when he was just a normal bank robber. It was after he and his brother got superpowers that Patty was like, "This is terrible. Evil people are getting superpowers, and no one will be able to stop them from hurting everyone. I need to do something about this." So that was her big call to action. The other big thing that's going to be happening with her character on the show is that she's being brought in as a potential love interest for Barry's character. Like that was part of her character description when they cast her. So if you read into some of the dialogue that she has about Kismet and fate, then, that's kind of the direction that's headed. But that also kind of speaks to her comic book history as a speedster. She got Speed Force powers on 2 different occasions. One, like way, way back in the comics when she first debuted. She became what was known as Miss Flash. Then she really didn't show up a whole lot until Jeff Johns brought her back during his Wally West run, and she became like a person at the police station. During that run, instead of being just a regular police officer or a detective like she's going to be on the show, she was a forensic scientist just like Barry. Then during the New 52, they put her and Barry in this like ongoing relationship in that version of events. He wasn't going out with Iris, he wasn't married to her or anything like that. So there have been a number of different versions of her character, but the producers brought her in this season just going to be able to match that Barry level of energy, that really excitable nerd energy that he has. Speaking of which, when they're nerding out here together watching the interrogation, they were talking about Monty Python's Holy Grail. That was the reference she was talking about, the troll on the bridge. But of course, moving on to my number 1, meet Jay Garrick, the Crimson Comet. So really important here, there have been a couple changes to Jay Garrick from the comics you can see right away already. He made this big deal about how he used to be a scientist, part-time superhero, but I guess the super part isn't around anymore. Really, you can see this coming a mile away. They're trying to build chemistry between those 2 characters. They both lost a really important part of themselves. They're going to bond over that and help each other heal. Jay lost his speed, Caitlin lost Ronnie, so they're both going to rebuild their shattered emotions together. I'm not really expecting anything crazy out of that relationship. And remember, it's been 6 months since Ronnie's died, so she is slowly going to be rebuilding her life throughout the rest of the season. But for the most part, Jay Garrick's job at Star Labs of Earth 2 from his world is pretty similar to what Caitlin does at Star Labs on this world. So their relationship is kind of a mirror of what's going on with Patty and Barry. It's just that Patty does not know that Barry is the Flash, yet. I say, giant yet. It was a little confusing early on why Barry was trying to shut him down when they first met. He wouldn't believe anything he said. The big speech with Iris just explained that he just doesn't want to trust anyone anymore. That's like, Batman mode. I'm not even going to trust my friends. So again, Iris has to be the voice of reason, telling him, your friends believe in you, you need to believe in them, or else they're all going to bolt. The whole reason they did this is because they want to let you know that Jay Garrick is not an evil character. He is exactly who he says he is. He's not going to turn into another wolf in the henhouse like Harrison Wells was. And just to explain that twist at the end too, Harrison Wells that showed up at the end, that's on Earth 2. Earth 2 Harrison Wells will be a thing this season. Tom Cavanaugh is still a series regular. Let me know in the comments though, what was your favorite moment? Was it Barry learning how to throw Speed Force lightning, that's what he was doing? Or was it just meeting the new characters, Jay Garrick and Patty Spivot? This episode probably going to go down as one of my favorites this season. I mean, remember, there's 23 total, so there's still a lot more left to come. And I almost forgot about the big twist at the end. Iris's mother shows up. So we'll find out what went on between her and Joe and how Wally West is going to fit into that equation. It was really like a knee-jerk WTF at the end, so we're going to have to wait till next week to really find out what's going on with that, to get some actual scenes with them. So hopefully I've explained some of the new comic book characters, some of the new concepts. When they said there's 52 pockets of energy, that doesn't mean they're going to be visiting 52 Earths. It just means that there are 52 places in Central City where there are breaches. Really all that means is that you're just going to see metahumans from Earth 2 start popping up all over Central City. There were some moments in the New York Comic Con trailer that did not make it into this episode, so I'll post links for that in the description so you can see there's a little bit extra stuff. But tomorrow's a new episode. We're going to meet Anarchy. He's going to be a really big character in Season 2. He'll be like the small bad. You have Damien Dark, big bad. Anarchy going to be the small bad. So while you guys wait for all that stuff to post, you can click here for the New York Comic Con Flash Arrow trailers. I jammed them into one big video. And you can click here for this week's Gotham video. I just posted this a little while ago. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tomorrow.